Well, one of the benefits, of course, of living in the Maritimes is our proximity to the ocean, but it also makes us vulnerable to changing weather patterns. As sea levels rise and weather becomes more extreme, the Climate Change Centre of Nova Scotia is encouraging Maritimers to become better informed about adapting to climate change in our region. CTV's Jill Matthews has more.
If climatologists are correct, the heavy rain and rising waters seen last week in southwestern Nova Scotia are a sign of things to come.
The changes in weather that we're seeing today are just from emissions from about 50 years ago. So when you think about the emissions we're releasing today, they're going to have impacts in 50 years' time.
While we can't stop climate change, Tom MacDonald of Nova Scotia's Climate Change Centre says we can minimize its impact. It's all about acting instead of reacting.
We got to look at how we've built our whole community and our society here on the East Coast and think about how that's going to be affected with all these pretty drastic changes that are happening.
Over the next century, the average temperature is expected to increase by nearly 5 degrees. Sea levels are predicted to rise as well, putting our region at risk for storm surge and coastal erosion. Homeowners are being encouraged to assess their risk and be ready with an emergency plan and kit.
We're well prepared. We have everything at home that we're ready to go. The only thing I'd like to have, and I'll buy it one of these days, is a generator, but the power outages, for the most part, are only a day or so. We can cope with that.
Adapting to climate change also means continuing to reduce greenhouse gases. Janet Arbuckle makes an effort to conserve energy, but says the government needs to make information about green alternatives accessible to the public.
Also teaching people about the availability. There are green things out there now, such as solar power heating. My in-laws use solar power heating in their house, but they had a very hard time finding it and getting it.
A website recently launched by the Climate Change Action Centre is aiming to address that, helping Maritimers learn more about our changing weather patterns and energy issues.
Of course, we can't predict what the future is going to hold, but we have to be prepared for a number of different possibilities.
Encouraging a wave of change to adapt our coastal communities for the uncertain weather to come. Jill Matthews, CTV News, Lawrencetown, Nova Scotia.